Okay, so I've given the busy Steffie body a little wipe down, and now we're going to fix the joints. So for this leg joint, I'm going to use a piece from, it's a joint repair kit from RestoreDoll, who are based in the States. As far as I know, they're the only supplier of these. And you get three of these per set, and on each of these there's pieces to repair different joints. So the top two ones here are for arm joints for talking Barbie dolls. I think you could, for like the quick curl dolls, any of those, that sort of doll. They won't fix twist and turn or vintage dolls. Also comes with I think that's a replacement knob for the living Barbie, if memory serves me right, and then this is a replacement knob again for any kind of talking Barbie, quick curl, etc. Any of the dolls that are prone to the melting of the joints. We're going to be working with the leg joints, which are these four, and there's two different joints here, so there's a pair of each. So if we look, so that's our hole. So this is one of them, and I think, I don't know if you can quite see, but the hole here is too large for this joint. It's just going to fall in. So the other joint is exactly the same knob, it's just got a larger plate, so it will sit down on that and cover it. But what I'm going to do is to sand this down so that it will lie a little more flush against that. I'm also going to, while I've got this going, is to grab excuse me, a talking Barbie joint that also needs repairing. I'll show you both of them actually in this video, because much of it is the same process, but there's going to be a little bit of difference. So let me get my Dremel plugged in down here, and I'm going to want to change to one of the sanding wheels. There we go. Oh. There. So I'm going to do this talking joint first. I'm just going to have to move the camera around because I'm going to do this over the trash can. It produces some waste. What we're going to do here is file this down. So I turn it on to the second highest, and then So now I'm going to take this repair joint and just try and... Okay, sometimes that happens. I'm going to go back and do the other ones. It's much easier to do this while it's still attached to the frame. There. I'm just going to remove that one. It does make it a little easier to angle in here. What I'm trying to do is get this outer rim thinner. Okay, that will do, and I can just show you. So that's the original thickness, and I just tried to take it down as soon as I can. It's not an exact science. You know, this is going to be, it's not going to show on display once the leg is popped back on. So if it's a bit rough and ready, don't worry. So let's put that there, pop that to the side, and now I want to get the drill bit. So get the drill bit in, and now tighten it back up. Actually, let me turn that off and explain what I'm going to do beforehand rather than trying to do it above the noise of the drill. So we're going to go in and drill a hole here. You want to be careful just to kind of ease it in just until it pierces. If you go in too far, you run the risk of damaging this frame that holds all the torquing mechanism in place, or damaging the flywheel here. So let's do that. Okay, so I've got my main, so I've made a hole. Now I need to widen that. So I'm going to go back in with the drill bit and just move the drill around the sides to file away the edges. Ooh, yeah. So I'm just going to pause, and I'm going to see if this is large enough now for this to, so you want this bit, let me get the tweezers, so you want the hole large enough for this, you don't want it larger than the diameter of this piece, and yeah, it doesn't fit. Usually I've done this so many times now, I can generally eyeball it and get it the first time, but I'll sort of show you. Okay, and that should be it now. Actually, I'm just gonna go back. It's almost there, but I just want to. Okay. Yeah. And it's okay if it's a bit tight, because once we get the glue on there, that's going to soften it up to where it'll just push in. And so this bit here will go into the hole, and this here will sit just on the outside, and that will help support and anchor it in place. The other thing is, when you're drilling the hole here, you want to make sure that you keep it as centered as excuse me, as you can, because the knob should sit centrally in this flange and in this joint area, so that when you pop the leg back on, it all sits flush. Sometimes I don't get it quite right and it's a little off, and it's not the end of the world. I find I don't display my dolls all nude, bung an outfit on them, and Bob's your uncle. A good outfit will hide a multitude of sins. So the drilling there is all done. I would recommend wearing safety goggles when you're doing that, just because there's going to be bits of plastic flying around. Me being me, I don't, but I do I have reading glasses on, so that they act as a safety goggle. So don't do what I do, do as I tell you. Yeah, that was a little family thing. Anyway, back to job at hand. So I'm going to park the torso away, because we don't need that, because this next bit is the same for all the joints. So actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you what I have here. Is so this is a brand that's available in the UK. It's Humbrol Precision Poly Cement, and you can get it on either eBay, Amazon. You could pick it up in a shop that sells plastic model kits. As you can see, it says for plastic model kits only. So the thing with the plastic model kits, so if you think of model airplanes, Airfix is the well-known brand here in the UK. The type of plastic they use in those is polystyrene, and it's the exact same plastic that Mattel used in a lot of their dolls. So all the Talking Barbies, the Quick Curls, the Busy dolls, and others, the torsos were all made of polystyrene. So this glue, what this glue does, it has a solvent in it, and it actually melts the plastic. I mean, I'll show you so you see what I mean by melting. And when you then join the pieces together, what happens is it rebonds the plastic. so you don't end up with a layer of glue sandwiched between your two plastic bits. It's melting it together, so it's a much stronger joint, or a much stronger repair than if you just use super glue or something like that. So screw that on. Just go, ooh, that's, so what I'm going to do is just go around the edge there, and I'm going to pop the lid back on that. Actually, this is a new bottle, and the liquid inside is thinner than other bottles, so and maybe as well I've had it sitting on the shelf and it's aged, and then it can be it takes more work to squeeze it out because it's thickened. The other thing you can use, if you can't find glue suitable for polystyrene plastics, is stretching and grabbing. So this is methyl ethyl ketone, otherwise known as MEK, and it's a solvent, and it dissolves polystyrene plastics, and it's the same solvent that's in this glue. And as you can see, the consistency is like water. So using MEK, you have to use fine little paintbrush, and you dab it around, and then it'll evaporate quickly, so you have to keep reapplying, and eventually that will soften the plastic enough. It sort of gradually melts it. This is what I used to use until I've found this. With the MEK, because it's so runny, it can sort of run around and over other parts of the torso and leave sort of melt marks, and I want to try and avoid that. Again, not the end of the world, but more my preference. If I can not do that, I'm happier. But if you can't find the glue, but you can find MEK and a really fine sort of paintbrush, go for it. I'm just going to see if this is... I think maybe it needs... Yeah. It just needs a little bit more time for the solvent in here to do its thing. I'm just going to apply that to that, and then let's come to the arm joints. So here I've got the bit that I rescued from the inside of the arm, and this is from the right. Move that, the right, and I may not do the gluing, so I may just show you this while I'm waiting for the hip joint to cure. I'm going to show you how to line this bit up with this properly. So you can see here, there's a recessed area, and it starts sort of here, and that's just, it's part of the molding process. And let's see if I can show you. So, yeah, this bit also has part of that recess mold, and you can see that it stops. It doesn't go all the way out here, but it sort of starts here and goes just through to there and stops. So when we're lining it up, oh, let's see if I can, yeah. So you can see it stops there, and here it stops. There's the opening, there's the opening. So we're going to want to, when we're gluing it, just sort of line it up as best one can, and it's going to look sort of like that. That way you know it's lined up. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll show you again when I actually come to glue it. Actually, while I'm doing that, I'm going to apply a bit of glue over to the piece of the arm joint that I took from out of the arm, and I'm just applying the glue there as well. So let's let that soften, come back to the hip joint, and okay, so yeah, hopefully you can, hopefully you can sort of see the fine little hairs. Yeah, there. So that's the plastic, that's the melting that I was talking about. So that means once it starts doing that, it's ready to attach. And also find that there's a line down the middle of this knob, this replacement knob, and there's also going to be the seam line of the torso, and as best you can try and sort of line those up, and then you know you're not going to be kind of too far over that way or too far over the other way, and sort of ending up with a leg that kind of, you know, isn't sitting flush properly. Okay, so let's just push that into place. Now that has to cure for, let's say, 24 hours. I'm not always that patient. And I may go back. Actually, I may just leave it, but sometimes I'll go back maybe after 12 hours and pop the legs on, and usually I get away with it. Sometimes I don't, and it hasn't cured properly and it just falls apart and I have to redo it. So one should leave it for 24 hours, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. Okay, so let's come and do, so I don't know if I got, oh. Okay, so there, so that's the arm joint there, and I'm just gonna, oh no, so I'm gonna come back, make sure I've got it lined up as well as possible. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with the other side. So apply, whoa! I'm just going to dab some of that away because that's too much. That, and then let's go a little bit. Just sort of get a little bit. There we go, that should do. And put that down, wait a minute-ish. Oh. So with that talking Barbie joint, where did I put the torso? Oh, I put it down somewhere safe. Oh, there it is. And so when I come to glue this joint back in, just going to apply it more to the inside of this hole, and then same thing, pop it in there. Well, it will pop in there and make sure things are lined up as best you can, and again leave it to cure.